So it's the middle of the year, and yeah, let's just see how the portfolio is performing. Understandably, the Nigerian exchange has been moving a little bit decent this year compared to the previous years where it was like flying, I think. So yeah. And it's actually a good way of, storing wealth and all that stuff. So I'm just going to walk you guys through some of the stocks I have currently, why I bought them, and yeah, just where they're performing right now, the way they're performing, and we'll see if there are any dividends and how much we're able to probably add to it. So depending on how this goes, I'll probably say, maybe we might be updating the portfolio every 3 months just to see what's happening there. And yeah, so let's get into it. My first stock here is Access, and I mean, it's Access Bank. Not much to say there, really. I bought it because I like the bank. And then there was something that Warren Buffett said one time about, buy stocks that you actually, companies that you actually care about. And in fairness, I do bank with Access, so I care about them. Then BOA, I bought BOA because they came to market not long ago. And then I was like, I mean, if anybody's going to challenge Dangote in this space, it might be them or, flour mills and all that. So I just bought BOA, and it turned out to be a very good investment. I bought Cornerstone Insurance because it was an insurance company. I wanted to diversify. It was cheap at the time, and I felt like they had potential. So I looked at their numbers, and it was actually quite decent. Nestle, don't laugh. I had a long-term plan that I was going to retire with my Nestle stock, right? So who knows? Life can still happen. Let's see where that goes. And then NGX Group, they came to market recently. They demutualized. So now there's like this part that is now accountable to the public and stuff like that. So it seemed like a good idea at the time when I bought it. A lot of this portfolio, really, what I was actually going for was the dividend earning, because obviously young Nigerian is not enough to just put money somewhere and hope it flies times 10. I actually wanted like passive income from the dividends. And then finally, Okomo L. So Okomo and Presco, they are like big market shareholders in terms of like palm oil in Nigeria. And so I just went for them. I went for Okomo also because I liked them. I liked the branding. I felt like they were one of those quiet workers in the space. And I did my research at the time, which is another thing. None of this is financial advice, by the way. This is just what I have and why. But yeah, I did my own research before I bought all this, and that was actually why I put some money in this. So at the time, the portfolio, like my total purchase values, was 189k, which isn't actually bad, right? I mean, if you're working in Nigeria and you're able to save maybe 25k a month, you've already gone like almost double this, right? Because 25k a month is like 300k a year. So this was just probably, I mean, this works out to roughly 16,000 naira a month in savings. So it wasn't actually bad. So this was my purchase cost, which, I mean, when you look at the performance today, is really bad because I'm very exposed to Nestle. So 75% of my portfolio is in Nestle, and Nestle is down right now, 22% loss on that share alone. It's enough to cry. I won't lie to you. It's enough to cry. But we know what's happening in the manufacturing space. So we'll manage. I'll hold my breath, and hopefully it will come back up. This is another thing with stocks. You have to be convicted, right? So it's like I bought it. It was 1,182. Now it's 920. I'm hoping that one day it will go back up. But it's a long-term game. Over 30 years. Hopefully they don't like leave the country. So hopefully it comes back up. My next biggest exposure is Access, which isn't bad. Like there's a 4% gain there. So like this is my gain in value. So this 1,000 naira gain, which isn't so bad. But yeah, the Nestle guy is really dragging down the entire portfolio. And also over the years, I've sort of sold some of these guys. So I used to have a bit more holding before, but I sold them because, sometimes you might just need cash. Sometimes you might just have other emergencies, and that's fine. That's natural. But as long as you have like a long-term plan with these things, then it does tend to help. I was mentioning before about BOA. So BOA is like, I think this is my best performer, 554% gain in BOA. So when I bought BOA, it was 58 naira. It's a shame that I have only 5. But don't despise don't despise small beginnings, right? Don't. This is a humble beginning, and hopefully, over the next couple of years, maybe if I do this more regularly, we might see how the portfolio might grow as time goes on. Again, my strategy is dividends, right? And I mean, I have only 5 shares. My average when I entered was 58. But what now? One BOA share is worth 379 naira, more or less 380 naira. Bruh. So all these performances as at last week. So I buy all my shares from Meristem, and why I have it on an Excel is because they have this app called Meritrade, and this isn't sponsored by the way, but I will put my referral code in the comments if you're interested. So basically what they do is they have an app, Meritrade, where you can buy shares and all that, and you fund it, put in money, it helps you, you buy everything. But they have this extra feature which I really like, which is at the end of every week they send you your portfolio in like an Excel kind of format, right? So you see a table and stuff like that. And for me, it just helps me because I find that with that, I feel a little bit more involved. So I can always, apart from seeing like the app version of everything, I can also for my own personal accounts, just in case maybe I have like portfolios in other places as well, I can like put everything together, compare, see what I feel, maybe I should move something around or whatever. So that's actually why I use them. And honestly, I will recommend because I've had no problems with them so far. So that's also why this is in Excel, because I was like, let me pull that out, put it here and see, what that looks like and all that. So, yeah, back to it. So total portfolio value today, we're looking at 160K. We're 15% down. So yeah, that is slightly terrible, but it's not all bad. It's not all bad. Now, the good thing is this year, some of these guys have announced dividends, right? So, Access Bank, for instance, they announced dividends of 1 naira 80 kobo, which isn't bad. Boa Foods announced 5 naira 50, which is not bad. But this is my champion right here. Okomo Oil announced 14 naira. So now, if you look at Okomo Oil, right? When I bought, Okomo was 183 naira. It's a shame again, I only have 10 shares, but this sort of puts into perspective the long-term value of money, right? So I only have 10. I bought at 183 and currently it is 265 and they're giving us 14 naira back. So it's actually not bad at all. It's not bad. So real quick, let's go through some things. It's the middle of the year, like I said before, so I've been able to save like 20K. I know Nigeria is really tough right now. So go easy on your boy. But I've only been able to save 20K this year so far. And let's see if I was to add like my dividends, let's see how much I'm expecting. So for starters, I am expecting number of shares. I have 1,320 in Access and they're giving us 1 naira 80 kobo back. So from Access alone, I'm expecting 2,376, which, okay, no, sorry, after tax, 2,138. Yeah, your dividends are subject to tax in this country. I mean, in everywhere, really. So that's actually not bad. So what I'm going to do is we'll calculate everything together and we'll see how much I'm expecting at the end. So this first one is for Access. The second one, let me see who else is expecting. So Boa Foods. Boa Foods is giving us, how many shares do we have? We have we have only 5. But yeah, and they're giving us 5 naira 50 per share. So I'm expecting 24 naira 75 from Boa after tax. Again, not too bad. And then the final person here is Okomo. Okomo is giving us 14 naira. Right, so I have 10 units there and they're giving me 14 naira. I mean, it's not too bad. So that's 126 naira, right? So which is fantastic. So now that gives me a total of, just out of curiosity, let's see, so I'm expecting 2,289 naira from shares. That's actually not bad at all, considering this is money that I didn't work for in a year that I could only save 20K so far. Hey, you see? So this is another thing for those of you that might be thinking of starting shares. I mean, do it, right? Because the passive income is always going to be valuable. So before I made this video, I was thinking, is it worth it? Is it not? But I figured somebody out there might want to start. So this might help you. This might push you. It's not like breaking bank money, but it's a start, right? So if this year I didn't work at all and I made 2,200 naira, just out of curiosity, how much is that a month? Right? That's 190 naira a month. If anything, I can actually buy data or credits with this, right? Or bad as it bad, I can drink water. But yeah, all jokes aside, I mean, you start slowly, right? You start slowly and you build. So over like a 20-year period, who knows where I could be? Who knows? So yeah, this is it. So now that means I have 22K that I can spend this year, which is good because, like I said, I'm thinking of adding more to the portfolio. So real quick, what we're going to do together, is I'm going to see which of them would be the best to buy. So that's why I have this here, because I have my 22K. Now, people always say reinvest your dividends, right? But you have to be careful sometimes because you might not really have that much value. For instance, 126 here can't even buy me one Okomo, which is not, great. 24 Naira here can't even buy me one Boa. But 2,100 here, can buy me maybe some access. So rather, I should have been using these ones rather. So 126 here can't buy me one. 24 here can't buy me one. But this might be able to buy me some, which is good. So let's just see what we can actually get this year based on, I'm just going to hide this real quick, based on the amount of money that we have. 22K, it's not bad. So real quick, we're just going to run through that. Okay, so also hide this too. You've done your part. Okay, so we have current price is 19. Let me just hide this just for good measure so it's easier. All right, fantastic. So I mean, we have 22K, right? If I was to put out of that, right, the entire access that came back and everything, how much was the entire access that came back? 2,138 naira. Okay, so just out of curiosity, like what I'm going to do is I'll put the entire dividends minimum back into access alone, right? And then we go from there and we'll see how that goes, right? Maybe that might be a good idea. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys would have done with this entire dividends. So for instance, this is 2,289. I have 22K to play with. I think what I'll do, just because of the current price, right? Let me see. I think the best thing might be, let's do it this way in terms of value. If I put 5K into access, I mean, this doesn't include like tax and everything, but roughly I'll get 263 units, which isn't bad, right? And what I can do also, because let me see, how much do we have left now? Let's do it this way. This minus that. Just out of curiosity. So it would be, So it would be easy for us to see exactly how much we've allocated. So if we allocate 5K to access, I mean, we can get 263 units, which isn't bad. The next cheapest thing here, if you ask me, is Cornerstone, right? Now, none of this that I'm doing is coming from like proper research. I'm just looking at, okay, how much money do I have? What can I put it back into in terms of my portfolio that'll give me good value? Most people at this point would like look into the company performances of each stock and all that kind of stuff. Normally, I would do that, but just for the sake of this video, and also because this portfolio is not something I actively manage really, so that's why I'm not really going in depth into analyzing each company and all that. Anyway, long story short, if we put 5K in access, the next cheapest thing here, because I'm looking at quantity now, the next cheapest thing here is this guy. So if I put 5K in Cornerstone, that gives me 2,300 units, which is not too bad either. The next cheapest thing is Nigerian Exchange Group. Let's see. would you rather put money here or would you rather divide it? And again, there's no rule that says you have to buy everything, right? You can just concentrate into one place and buy more of that, or you can spread it around. What I'm just trying to do is spread it around a little bit, just so every stock goes up a little. So for instance, if I put 5k back into Boo, I only get 13, which isn't bad considering that, I mean, they've paid, in terms of ratio, the dividend was quite high in my portfolio. And then let me see who else. Okomu. Let me see, if we put 5k there, what do we have? Who would have thought? So now let's see, we get 19. And then we have the actual dividend amount, which is 2,289.15 left. So what I'm going to do is I will add that here, right? I'll put that into access. So that means I'm not buying Nestle right now, which most people might look and say, you probably should because it has gone down, dollar cost averaging, buy more so that your holdings are more. Fair enough, yeah. But I'm looking at the manufacturing space in Nigeria right now and I'm a little bit cautious, right? Because I don't know where it's going. Right, so I'm going to be a little bit careful right now because consumer spending is low and all that. So that's why I'm actually not buying Nestle. NGX Group, I'm just not going to increase my shareholdings there for now. So what I'm going to do is this entire 2,289, I'm going to put that here. So that gives me a total of, what would that be? That would be 7289.15. Right, so if I allocate it this way, you see now we have nothing left. So we spent the entire 22k, which I think is fantastic. So what am I expecting? I'm expecting 384 units added to my access. That might not be too bad. I'm expecting another 2,000 units on Cornerstone. Again, not too bad. 13 units on Boa, which will bring me up to 18, and Okomo 29. Just out of being like, particular about numbers and stuff like that, I think what I will do is I will reduce this to 6,500 and I will make this 5,500. So it's just like a little bit more than 19. It just looks better to me. I have 289 naira left, which I think is fair because when I'm actually buying, like it won't be this exact amount because of taxes and fees and all those kind of things. But this is like a rough estimate of what I want to add to the portfolio, and we'll see how this goes. So hopefully in another couple months I will make another video and we'll see how the portfolio is performing then. There might not be anything new in terms of dividends because the dividend for this year has already been announced by most companies, and that's why we have this here. But maybe I might have saved a little bit more money to add into what I have by that time, and then prices would have changed as well, and the entire portfolio value might be different. But yes, guys, that's just what I wanted to do with this video. Show you guys a bit of the portfolio, see what you think, and you can let me know in the comments what you have in your portfolio. You can let me know, how much you tend to like invest regularly, or if you maybe invest once in a year. And yeah, that's just it, guys. So see you guys next time. Bye.